Hey guys, I'm back. I know it's been a while since I've updated this channel at all. It's been quite a while since even that God's Not Dead review that I did on my phone. I know I promised to do unedited videos on my phone, but that video, I just hated how much it looked, honestly. So I was just like, you know what? It's not worth it. I'm just gonna, wait till my computer gets fixed and everything. Well, because of a few other reasons, that took longer than I thought it was going to. But anyways, now that I'm back, I'm gonna be working really hard to have more consistent reviews and actually get these movies reviewed that I see. I still saw a lot of movies this year, at least when I could go to the theater and see them. And it would be really hard for me to get reviews out of those movies. So I can get some of those reviews out if you want. It will take me a bit of time, though, to get them out, because I'm also trying to keep up with what's currently coming out and whatnot. But I will maybe be able to get you at least a few thoughts out for some of these older movies that came out this year. Certain movies like those, like the comic book movies and whatnot, when another one comes around, I'll just go back and do again. I could get a review out for Ghostbusters, or maybe like Jason Bourne, or some of these other movies. Ben-Hur remake, I do have plenty to say about that one. Or Magnificent Seven remake. If you guys want, just write down in the comments which ones you'd like me to talk about that have come out earlier this year. And I'll try to get to those as soon as I can. I am also, of course, going to be prioritizing the movies that are coming out, because I do at least want to keep with the schedule now that I have everything working again. But anyways, I've updated you guys long enough. Let's get into my review of Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back stars Tom Cruise, Colby Smulders, and is directed by Edward Zwick. And it is the sequel to the 2012 film, Jack Reacher, also, of course, starring Tom Cruise. Ex-military investigator Jack Reacher is hiding from the law after helping out a female officer, a friend of his, played by Colby Smulders. All we know about the relationship at the beginning is that they've never met face-to-face, so we don't actually know how they became friends or anything. I mean, what? Did they meet on Tinder or something? But hey, at least she looks more like this and less like this. They are now on the run together and trying to find out who framed her for supposedly aiding terrorists. Now, I should just point out, I have not read any of the Jack Reacher novels. I know there's a pretty big size fan base for those books, and I'd like to check them out at some point, maybe. I just haven't gotten around to it. However, I did enjoy the first Jack Reacher movie that was directed by Christopher McQuarrie, alright enough. He would also go on to direct another Tom Cruise action movie that you may have heard of. I don't know. It made some money, I guess, last year. Just a little movie called Mission Impossible 5. But in all seriousness, I did enjoy the first Jack Reacher, alright. It has problems with the writing, but what saves it is the directing and Tom Cruise's acting. Tom Cruise is an actor I usually like. From his more dramatic roles like Top Gun, Days of Thunder, Rain Man, Born on the 4th of July, A Few Good Men, and Risky Business, to his action roles like the Mission Impossible franchise, Minority Report, Collateral, and Edge of Tomorrow. He has churned out a lot of great work in his career, and I suggest checking out any of those films I just listed, because honestly, they're all really solid. Christopher McQuarrie didn't come back to direct this new film, but instead we got Edward Zwick directing. And he's a pretty critically acclaimed director, and after looking at a list of his films, I realized I've only seen one of them. Courage Under Fire with Denzel Washington, and I saw it so long ago when I was in high school I barely remember it. And that's really sad, and I know. I own Blood Diamond, and I have Last Samurai back there, despite being a Tom Cruise fan. For some reason, I have not seen Last Samurai, but I will see those, of course, as soon as possible. And I'm excited to check them out, because Edward Zwick, I can tell he has a good directing style from this movie, at least. Now, I know it's only seen him a little bit, so I can't really talk too much on it, but he did direct this movie as well as he could. Again, like the first Jack Reacher though, the writing kind of sinks this film, and unfortunately, it sinks it even a little lower than the first one. It just feels like certain characters, they're put in the script, and then it's like the screenwriter was trying to find something for them to do. Especially the possible daughter of Tom Cruise's character that gets introduced. There's a scene early on in this movie when Jack Reacher goes to the military base to visit Colby Smulders, and he finds out that he may or may not have a daughter because this woman filed a claim saying that he hasn't paid any child support or anything with the Army. And this claim was apparently filed years ago, and it makes no sense why this would just come up now. It's not really done well. It's just kind of randomly put in there, and that leads to him going and tracking her down, and she ends up being a target for these people that are trying to kill Tom Cruise and Colby Smulders, so she has to go with them. I get that they're trying to have him have a human connection and have an arc where he wants to have a kid or something, and that's fine and all. It's not done really well. They have a few moments together that are nice and sweet. It's also a little cliched, especially at the end. And the real problem, though, with this character is for the last 40 or so minutes, she barely has anything to do. They keep coming back to her staying in this hotel room while Tom Cruise and Colby Smulders are walking around New Orleans trying to figure out what's going on and find the guys that actually are selling to terrorists and whatnot. And there's this other hitman that's after them. Tom Cruise has a talk with her early on. Do not use the phones. Do not use credit cards or anything because they will track you. But what does she do? Of course, what any dumb teenager would do. It's called room service to the room because, you know, it's not like she was explicitly warned not to do that very thing. And what happens? Oh, the hitman finds her, of course. And they have an elongated chase for the last 15 minutes. And this is after the problem has been resolved and they have found the real people who have been selling to terrorists and all that. So we have an extra 15 minutes just because of this stupid thing that happens. And it just drags the movie out for no real reason other than to have a last minute chase sequence on rooftops that has never been done before in half of the recent action movies like Fast 5 and I think one of the Taken movies. Yeah, Taken 3 did that. So, I'm not sure why they did this. It's really dumb, and it's super cliched. I don't want to get much more into it because it's spoiler territory, I guess. But it gets really cliched. So, that being said, this movie's not horrible or anything. This still has some well-shot action sequences. Nothing that gets to the height of the car chase scene in the first movie, for example. The cinematographer for Die Hard 2 did it, and that was fine cinematography there too. I would say better. But here, it's still good. There are some funny bits too, with Colby Smulders, Tom Cruise, and the girl. And it's not all bad. It is enjoyable enough for the first 2/3. The ending does go a little too long, like I said, and that's unfortunate. Also, the villain's reason for doing what they're doing is not super clear. I think they really should have gone back on the writing on this movie. Like I said, the writing is the worst thing in this movie, and they really need to work on that script to make it a little tighter, make it make more sense and cohere better. Because I just did not understand why the villain was doing what they were doing. And that's a huge problem. It's not ruinous, mind you. It's still enjoyable to watch because of what Tom Cruise's character and Colby Smulders' characters are going through. And other side characters in the military office that are entertaining enough that at least adds a little bit of something, even though they're barely in the movie. This movie's fine enough. It's not as good as the first one. It's not a rush out to go see it, but it's watchable. I say, if you like the first one, at least give it a shot. You might enjoy it. This movie's not bad or anything. It does have enough to give it a pass, but it's not a rush out and go to see it in theaters. Rent it when it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD. Check it out then. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's a fine but still disappointing action movie. I really wish this was better. Alright, hope you enjoyed that review, guys. And like, comment, and subscribe. And I swear I got more videos coming. So just hold on, it won't be too long. Alright, bye.